Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Holt Outdoors Podcast. I hope this episode finds everyone out there enjoying the cooler temperatures and getting dogs out, doing some hunting, and we appreciate you coming back for another episode. I am your host, Brennan Holt, and we got a good podcast coming up today for you guys. Looking forward to it. And just real quick before we jump into that, gonna mention again that the CCS hunt, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's the Coonhound Championship Series. It's going to be something that we're doing. We're very excited about it. We've got a group of guys that are going to be competing against each other, and there's going to be a little bit of money on the line. It should be entertaining, should be educational. That first one is going to be available to everybody on the 28th, I believe, of October. So keep an eye out for that. And then there's going to be more to come as far as the Coonhound Championship Series. But secondly, a little bit of bittersweet news. Ruby, I had a chance to sell her to someone that was going to do her a little more justice than I was doing her. She just, wasn't getting hunted quite enough. And just for me and what's going on right now, I had to make a change there and had the opportunity to get another dog that is a little bit farther along and a little bit of a different style than Ruby was. And so I had that opportunity and I took it, and I'm looking forward to you guys getting to see that dog. And, on top of that, he's already treated me several coons, and the prospects are high with him for sure. And Shy actually too is, we're going on, I don't know, 3 weeks or so of him being off of Doxy. So things are definitely looking better with him as well. He's making some progress, making some better trees and treeing a few coons here lately. So not sure which dog yet. I believe I'm going to hunt Shy in the CCS, but we'll find out soon enough. But so things are looking up. Excited to keep bringing you guys more of that stuff and keep bringing you good guests on the podcast here. So without delaying anymore, we're going to get our guest on here. He's a guy that's not far from here from me, just a couple hours away. I met him at a hunt. Great guy, and I think it's going to be a good one. So welcome, Mr. Dustin Burdine to the Holt Outdoors Podcast.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I met you at that hunt that we went to. I think it was in, where was it? Was that in, I can't remember what town that was, but we met at that hunt, and I actually hunted against you that night. And man, you kind of struck me as a good, genuine guy. And ever since then, we've been, carrying on a few conversations. You'll call me, I'll call you. And I've enjoyed your friendship so far for sure.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Dustin. Where'd you grow up? Where are you from? Where are you living now? Just give us your little bit of your life story.
I was born in Harrison, Arkansas, but I grew up in Jasper. It's just 20 miles south of Harrison. And I've been here all my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big mountain, pretty rough hunting.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit rougher than what I'm used to. So you say you're living in Jasper now?
Yeah, about 8 miles from there. Yeah.
Okay. Whereabouts is that from? Oh, I don't know, Branson.
I could be at Branson probably a little over an hour, but it's about a little over an hour south of Branson.
Okay. Yeah. Me and my family, we go to Branson quite a bit. So that's usually about as far south as I make it on any kind of a consistent basis. So, well,
Yeah.
how did you get into coon hunting?
My dad and brother hunted some when I was just real little, and I kind of always wanted to get into it and get my own dog, and they kind of quit for the most part by the time I got my own dog. But I had a 5 squirrel dog here, and decent squirrel dog, and there's a local guy here. It's always been a pleasure hunter, and he come and tried that dog, and anyways, he knew I was wanting a coon dog. Instead of buying him, he had a 4-year-old female, uh, had a lipper stylish crank, if I remember right. And
Yeah.
anyway, we just traded, and she was my first dog, and she's a decent dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what time frame was that in your life? Was you probably a teenager or so?
No, I was 11 or 12 years old. I believe I was 12. Yeah, I believe I was 12 years old when I got her. Her name was Jessie.
Yeah. What was she like?
Just treed coons, nothing extra, just a decent dog at treed coons. And I actually raised a litter of pups off her. Johnny Hampton, here, a local man that used to always coon hunt, he had a dog called Hard Time Buck, and he was off of Nocturnal Nailer and a Pac-Man female, and I bred her to him, and I kept a pup. That was a decent cross. I kept a pup, the only male pup from that cross, and I named him Stylish Duke, and I had him till he died of old age.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's I know what you're talking about. I got 2 dogs that one of them passed away, I don't know, 6 months ago, but I had a male and a female. They were my first dogs I ever got when I was probably, I don't know, 16 or 17. And the female, she's still kicking out here. She's going on 14 years old, and I think March or somewhere in that time frame. But
Wow.
Those first ones are special, aren't they?
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like special bond, especially, your first dog that does any good coons for you, just something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about Duke, what was he, would you say he's probably one of your favorites, you said?
Yeah, he's probably in my top, I don't know, probably top 4 that I've had. I just liked him. He pretty a wild dog though, Hey, some local guys about how far he make you walk, He's a hard going dog, and he's the type, you cut loose, you're going to pull him off a tree somewhere, and whether it be just a few hundred yards or a couple miles away,
Yeah.
I raised him, and I guess I think I put him in his first hunt at 11 months older or something like that, and I put him in hunts off and on from that time on, I guess, until he got to be probably around maybe an 8-year-old, maybe.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So 11 months old, you put him in his first hunt.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I believe that's how it is, somewhere around there.
What did he operate? I mean, you said he's kind of wild, but what about him, at 11 months old, what was he doing right to give you the confidence to put him in a hunt?
He just real easy starting dog, and after I hunt him a couple months, and he got still a pup, but got a little more age on him. He you can take him by himself and just treat coons, and still made a mistake here and there, like any of them do. But I was just a kid, and I was liking him better than his mama, even at 11 months old. So I started hunting him, and just kind of went from there. And we raised a few layers of pups off of him.
Yeah. How did you get him started? I mean, back in the day, we used to do it the only way we knew how, which was hunting a young dog with a old dog until they started, those baby steps, they'd go 50 yards in the woods and they'd come back to you. And then, maybe 2 weeks later, they'd go all the way to the tree, but they weren't treeing. And then next time out, they'd tree, and then pretty soon they're splitting. Is that kind of, how did you guys down in Arkansas start dogs back in that day?
Well, with him, I started with his mama, and then after, I don't know, it's so long ago, I can't remember for sure, but I hunted with her in a while, and then I went to hunting by myself. I can't remember how long I hunted with her before I started singling him out, but he was a real easy dog to start and to finish. It wasn't a whole lot you had to do, more or less just haul him and turn him loose, really.
Yeah, those are the good kind, right? The ones that are easy to take hunting.
I guarantee you, they make you want to go. Yep.
Yeah. Well, kind of as we get a little further into this, my thought on this episode is how do you know when you got something, and so with that in mind, that's kind of the theme of this, because I've had several dogs in my life, but probably not near as many as other people have had. And, it's different for everybody as far as, I've talked to some guys that it's like, one guy will tell you, well, you got to have patience, and that's true. But you might talk to another guy who 15, 20 years ago, they had the best dog that they'd ever had or ever seen go. And so when they're looking at dogs today, they're like, they don't have that same patience because they've got the measuring stick. They're like, man, I measure everything compared to this dog from 20 years ago. And so, that's kind of my thought for people is like, how do you know whenever you got something that's worth putting time into, and so with that in mind, we'll talk about a few topics here that I got in mind, but it all kind of ties into that. So give me your 3 favorite dogs that you've ever hunted, or we'll just say there's a top 3, and you can pick ones that you've hunted or ones that you've hunted with that you've seen go, and give me a few of those. And then we can talk about why they were kind of at the top of your list.
Probably that I've hunted with, probably favorite dog. I just got to hunt with him one night, and it was years ago, and he left a pressure on me. I never have forgot that dog. But Ronnie Bone was hunting a dog called Snap. I don't remember his full name, but I want to say hunt for Randy Morgan at the time. I could be wrong on that. I'm not for sure, but he put a whooping on us, and it was a Arkansas Children's Hospital hunt, and it's a week-long hunt. And if I remember, I think Ronnie and Snap got in the Final Four like every night that week, if I remember correctly. Really nice dog.
Yeah. What did he do to impress you?
If I remember, I say it's years ago, but I think he treated 4 singles, and I think everything else, and maybe even a dog might not even treat a coon, but just treat a coon, and he treated 4 singles, and on ground at a place that gets hunted pretty hard, pretty regular. It did at the time, it's a pressured area that gets hunted pretty regular. He just went there and treated 4 singles like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, just business like. Yeah, that's
yeah.
I like that too. I've seen some that are like that it just seems like they got nothing else on their mind, like it's all business when you cut them loose, and I like that.
Yeah, he was a really nice dog, and he just, I can always remember that dog, and I was probably 18 or 19 when I hunted with him. I'm 34 now, and he's stuck in my mind like that ever since. He just nice dog from what I could tell.
Yeah. Well, give me another one that you've hunted with or that you've owned that's in your top favorites.
Probably a dog I owned. I lost him at a young age due to cancer, but a dog called Stylish Trip. I bought him from a good buddy of mine, Michael Dean. I tried buying him when he's about 6 or 7, maybe he's 7 months old. And Mike didn't want to sell him then. And he had a female he called Fly, and he was running for a truck ticket 1 month with her. And he'd call me and see if I was serious in buying him. And I bought him at, I think he was almost 9 months.
Yeah.
Bought him. Kind of another deal there, kind of like Duke. He's just kind of easy to train for the most part, but he would tree quite a few coons, but he'd also miss some. And as I worked on him with that, before I lost him to cancer, he got where he was just almost deadly accurate. He got really good about having coons later on.
Yeah, that's something. That's something that I've been lacking a little bit in my life of coon hunting here recently is deadly accurate, and I'd like to get some of that back pretty soon.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to get them where they're well balanced.
Yeah, exactly.
Went through a bunch. Yeah.
So that, I guess that's number 2. Let's give me one more that you've hunted with or owned that you really liked.
Probably, I bought him at a real young age and only got to hunt him for about 7 months before I sold him, but probably Tin Cup.
Yeah.
That's Cup.
Yeah, if people that are listening or watching don't know who Tin Cup is, all you got to do is go to Facebook, go to Michael Ward or whoever, and check out Tin Cup. Go to Pro Sport. That dog has won a lot in the last couple of years, and in fact, he hasn't lost very much. He's really making some noise right now. And I want to get into Tin Cup for sure here in just a second. But yeah, that one is quite a winner that's going right now for sure. And we'll get into your history on him, but let's talk about Juice, because I hunted with you that night. In that cast when you had Juice. That's the dog that you're hunting right now. What do you think of him right now?
I like him pretty good for the most part, but he's had some bad allergy problems about the last 5 weeks. I've never dealt with a dog that's got him bad as he does at the moment. He's actually getting better. He ain't got him real bad right now, but he's a pretty nice dog. I mean, I like him, enjoy hunting. He's just pretty hard, kind of like the Duke dog I touched on as I had as a kid. He in some ways, as far as his hunt style goes around home here, he kind of reminds me of him in some ways. He hits the creeks around here and just moves pretty good in creeks, and just trees, cones. He fits my country pretty well how he hunts.
Yeah. Well, speaking from experience on that night that we hunted together in that cast, he looked good. We hunted around that cornfield there late, and I think he got first strike, and my dog was running that track with him, and he was treed pretty quick, and mine was treed right there after him. He beat mine to that tree, and we started heading to him, and you had to minus me there because my dog was not on the tree when we got there, and yeah, he had a coon real quick like on that one. You got him recut, he treated another one, and then that was pretty much all you had to do to really kind of have that thing under control. And then I think if I remember right, you said after the cast was over, he was in there a ways and had another coon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looked really good that night. But when did you get Juice?
I actually don't own Juice, but I hunted for some buddies of mine. I believe they bought
Oh,
him.
okay.
It was sometime around the middle of June, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, middle of
Yeah.
June they bought him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a nice dog for sure. And, yeah, it's hard anymore to keep him healthy, with all the things out there that can hurt him, ticks and allergies and snakes and all that stuff. But I really like that dog, and I hope you keep doing well with him for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. He's a pretty nice dog. He has some bad nights here, like they all do, but all in all, as far as I've noticed, what little bit I've hauled him away from home, he don't look quite as good like in hardwood bottoms and stuff. From my knowledge, the heat got on him, I don't think he's ever really been put in bottoms. He's just kind of been hunted in rolling hills and creek type stuff, and hoping to get some time freed up, and I can go about an hour and a half south of me and hunt hardwood bottoms. I hope I can get him operating in the bottoms like he does here in these mountains and creeks.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think the key to getting him to operate better in that is just actually putting him in there and giving him some experience in that type of country?
I do. Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Hopefully, we can get through the rest of this without it. But, yeah, well, you mentioned a second ago, 10 Cup, and I want to talk to you about 10 Cup. For people that don't know, I mean, maybe it'd be best for you to tell them, what's going on with that dog right now.
He's I believe last I heard he'd won over 200 something thousand in I think 5 or 6 months. I believe that's right.
Yeah, and that's just crazy to even think about, honestly.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, and so what's your connection with 10 Cup?
So I actually I was still hog hunting then. I always coon hunted, but I got into hog hunting with dogs about 9 or 10 years ago. And I'd still buy a pup to hunt from like spring to October some years in that time of the year. And we don't hog hunt much that time of year. Well, I actually had a young dog, a blue tick that's done pretty well in the UKC part of things, and Kyle Oaks hunts him. His name's Blue Rip, if I remember right. Well, I had him and hunt him. I guess it was about March, and Dalton Cummins, Cheyenne's boy, posted a video of 10 Cup, and he was 7 months old then, and I liked what he said about him on there, and they just something about him. He posted a video of him treating. I thought, man, there's something about that pup I like, and so he just posted him on his Facebook. So I hurry up, messaged Dalton, and anyways, we got together and got to talking there on the phone, and I said, I'll just buy him, and they was coming to Conway that weekend to RQE, if I remember right, and I met him close to Conway and picked him up and bought him.
Yeah.
And he was just a started pup then, just a started pup that had treated some coons, and he might hunt him a few nights. He might just run and everything, and barked a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and for those that don't know, 10 Cup he's out of Redneck Backwoods Shack, and actually the same mother, I believe, to my old Boone dog that I sold, Pender's 10 Lizzie, I believe. And if I remember right, I don't think she's around anymore, but that's how 10 Cup was bred. And so you got him there around 7 months old or so. And what was he like then when you got him back to the house?
He'd go hunting, leave barking, and I guess I'd hunt him probably about a week, and he hadn't treated coon, but he'd go hunting good and run stuff, whatever, a little bit. And I guess I'd hunt him I don't remember how long I actually hunted before he treated Coon. It wasn't long, you know. I know the first week I hunted him though, he just went hunting and run, and then I remember, I guess it's about 6 weeks I've been hunting him, and it got, I guess, late April, and then he started treating Coon just nearly every night.
Mm.
It kind of really started progressing really quick. I'd say from about the end of April on.
Yeah.
And born pretty much a loner, you know. Born that way, best I could tell, you know, from the time I had him, you know. And really accurate, you know. He really good about having coons, and just kind of one of them deals, you know. He's kind of a natural pup for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, all he needed was hunted.
Yeah. See, was he like a trailing, you know, kind of a track minded dog at that time?
He was, yeah. He'd do a lot of trailing sometimes. Wanted to be right, and like I say, from that time span on to April, and then he went to treeing coons, and then I was just treeing. He just went treeing coons pretty much every night. And I got really excited about him, you know, and
Yeah.
But back to the Rip dog, I bought 10 Cup and I still had Rip, and he was just a starter dog, you know. I was running and treeing it and had treated a few coons, but just a starter dog, and I sold him to Johnny Cooper and Kyle Oates, and they went on, done really good with him, went on and trained him, and they've done pretty well with him.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a podcast that they're doing as well. It's a good one. I listen to it quite a bit. And I've heard nothing but good things about that dog. And sounds like he's having a lot of success with him for sure.
Yeah.
Well, old 10 Cup. So he starts treeing, you know, several coons for you. What happens then? I mean, obviously you're excited about it, and you know, so what's the next step for you, you know, going forward with him from there?
So I just coon hunt him, and then down here at Dover, Arkansas, every year they have a Clint Parks Memorial Hunt, and it's a PKC hunt, 2-night deal, and at this time, kind of like the Duke deal, you know, I believe he was 11 months old. I hauled him down there and got in the Final Four in Friday night, and we split, and then I hunted him again Saturday night and got lucky and got in again, and we split, and then I put him in 2 or 3 more casts. Dog still looked decent, but didn't win, and then I just coon hunted from then on. And then Mr. Ike Rainey had learned about him and wasn't really wanting to sell him. He called, I guess, around September at this time, I guess, and he made a really reasonable offer then for Cup's age, and I just couldn't take it, and I priced him. And I guess it's probably a month later, just guessing, I would say, and he ended up buying him. And then kind of after that, I think they hunted a while, and then he changed hands a few times, and then now when Roger passed, you know, I guess they put some dogs up for sale, you know, the family did, and then Mike's hunting ever since then, and I believe John Granberry had been hunting a dog for Roger, getting him ready, and man, did he ever have him ready?
Yeah. Well, so are you the type that gets super attached to your dogs?
Yeah, I get a good, you know, especially ones I like, you know, I like to have a good bond with them, and I do get attached, but I've sold a lot of dogs too, you know. So sometimes it's just hard to turn down. And I hated to sell him, but at the time I was still hog hunting time, and it was become fall. I thought, man, that's perfect time, if they start hog hunting. And me and my wife had her first baby on the way, and she was due in February, so it was good timing, and no doubt is where he belongs. He's getting pushed, and dog like that definitely deserves to be able to be where he's at.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure it's sometimes, somewhat hard for people to look back, at times, but do you regret selling him at all?
Yeah, absolutely. especially now, because I sold all my hog dogs back around spring, and want to do this as a full-time hobby again, and yeah, especially where I'm at now. That's all I'm doing as a hobby is coon hunt, and of course I like turkey and deer hunt, of course, too. But I'm a hobby. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have him.
Yeah. I know what you mean, and that's kind of leading into this topic, if you will, is how do you got something? And so in regards to Cup, at what point of you owning him were you like, this dog's got something?
Yeah, well, so touch back, like I say, around there after I'd had him about 6 weeks hunting. I'd hunt him. A buddy of mine had a good dog here, and we pleasure hunt a lot together, and he started treeing quite a few coons on that dog here and there, which that dog would tree coons on him too. But he was I believe, a 4-year-old dog, and a really nice dog. And they several nights Cup looked better than him, and they several nights where he put it on him. For example, one night I believe that male dog I'm talking about, I believe he treed 4 or 5 singles in about, I don't know, a little under 2 hours, and Cup treed one, and then just went in trail mode, and but when he was starting to look, compete with that dog, he's playing around pleasure hunt, looking better, treating maybe an extra coon or two on him there several nights. I thought, he's going to be something. I really believe if he's doing this at this age, if he keeps progressing, don't take a backslide, rest is history. He's going to be something extra.
Yeah. And what's more important to you as a competitor and someone who's, for the most part, probably buying dogs that need work and not buying something that's just straight up finished? What's the most important thing to you? Is it a dog that's accurate? Is it one that's business-like and takes care of business quick and moves around good as long as they're moving fast? Like what do you put highest priority-wise in how a dog works?
I like one to move good and accuracy, and I like a really independent dog that's natural independent. And I like a good mouth, and I like a dog that open good. I like to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Probably more so than a lot of people out there. I like a barking dog, and that first strike's important. You get a first strike dog that trees a lot of coon and don't hardly give no points back. Is probably going to win a high percentage of his cast.
Yeah. And I was going to ask, why, but the obvious answer is just carrying that 100 strike, as long as the dog can keep it going and put a coon on the end of it, it's going to make it hard to handle.
Yes, sir.
And so with Cup, cause that's probably my biggest fear on the 3 or 4 dogs that I've bought and sold, trying to look and find the thing that I like, something that suits me good here in the last couple of years. My biggest fear is like what happened with Boone, selling a dog and then months, 6 months later, 2 months later, you hear about how good they're doing. I'm like, I just have this anxiety and this fear that I've wasn't patient enough. And man, if I sell this dog, it's going to be the next world champion or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I understand that. So sometimes it's hard to judge a pup on down the road. You think, man, if I keep hunting this pup, say 3 months from now, I really feel like he or she's going to be at this level. And then again, you think, man, this pup just ain't got it, and sometimes you can give up on one too quick. But yeah, I've been very fortunate and blessed. I've had several bad ones too. I've had some of the worst, but I've had a lot of pups that I really like starting pups. Something I really enjoy, and I've been blessed. I've had several that I really like, and several that was not worth nothing. Just a lot of us just getting that lucky pup, that's gifted and just needs co-hunted and trained, and next thing you know, you got something, but it's hard. I've a bunch of them.
Yeah. What's your general rule of thumb on, say a dog that that you're starting, it's 6-7 months old. What's your general rule of thumb as far as, what are you needing to see to keep going? Just progress in any form, or what's your general rule of thumb as far as I'm going to give them a year, or I'm going to give them till they've treated 50 coons, or what are you looking for to give you that solidification that you're going to keep on, trying to make something out of this dog?
Well, when I get a pup that's real young or weaning age and raised from weaning age or whatever, I like a really good acting pup. I don't like no weirdness. I want them friendly as can be. I don't like a weird dog. And like I say, a good mouth from a pup. I'm not going to put much time into one that ain't got no mouth. Probably like majority of people out there. And a smart pup. I like one that learns quick. And I like anybody, I guess. I like an early starting dog that's doing something really quick. And I'm blessed to where I live at. I can let some pups run loose here. And we got a couple Cur Dogs that run around here. It's kind of into everything. And they can run these Cur Dogs and kind of run or tree, whatever. And when they start staying gone some, and you hear them off in this holler here, screaming up the holler, running something or treat down there on whatever, I put them up and I go to hunting them.
Yeah. Them Cur Dogs, I'm sure they'll keep them out of the yard and keep them gamey after something when they're young.
Yeah, for sure. It really helps having these Cur Dogs around, and they're all the time into something, seem like.
Yeah. That's how it was with Boone and a couple of the puppies that I've had here in the last couple of years, is letting them run loose until they were causing too much trouble getting over on the neighbors, running some fast game or something, and then I just put them up. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to have your perspective on this particular topic, just because how many guys can you talk to that owned a dog like Tin Cup, that ended up getting into somebody's hands and really getting pushed in the bigger stuff, and 200 and however many $1,000 in 4 or 5 months is just, that's craziness. And it's been good to get your perspective on that. And, I hope one of these days I have a dog that's that caliber, and I hope I don't sell it.
I hope you do too. Yeah. Yeah, I'd still like to get lucky and get another one, but he's probably once in a lifetime, but I'm definitely glad where he's at. I'm happy for them guys and Michael Ward. I mean, they really done well with that dog in such a short time.
So what are your plans in the future coming up here with you and Juice and just everything you got going on with dogs and hunting in the future?
I'm just kind of coon hunting Juice right now. Russell Goodman and Casey Knapp that own him. We're planning on, I think, maybe hitting some hunts here in maybe about 2 months or something. But right now it's kind of coon hunting. Might take him to a hunt or two here before that time. But just kind of coon hunting him right now and just doing that.
Yeah, and you told me the other night you got him qualified for TOC, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that'll be fun. You know, that's turned into quite the hunt. Everybody that goes to that hunt loves it, and it's turning into quite the prestigious hunt to compete for. And I have no doubt that you guys will have him looking good and ready to go for that whenever it rolls around.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I've not hunted in the TOC yet. I was kind of getting back into it. I guess started hunting full time hobby again. I guess in June, I guess when Russell and Kaysen bought Juice is when I started back hunting him, and yeah, I hope to have him ready and looking good and hopefully have some luck. I really like how UKC done coming up with that hunt, and that's I hear it's a really, really great hunt, like you say. Yep.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and you know, maybe one of these days I'll be lucky enough to have a dog in it myself. And till then, I'll just keep hunting and keep grinding, and hopefully get there one of these days. But yeah, I like Juice. He's got a good mouth. He was real business like that night that we hunted together, and yeah, I wish you and him and the guys that own him nothing but the best of luck going forward. And yeah, I appreciate you coming on here and giving, you know, your take on kind of the sad part of the dog business, which is, you know, selling a good one or the one that turns out to be a good one. But you know, in that particular situation, it seems like everybody's happy with how it ended, and you know, the dog's getting the justice done that it deserves. And you know, I think that's a good topic is for people, you know, because my podcast and the stuff that we do on our channel is really, you know, I intend it to be geared towards, you know, your average guys that are like me, that are trying to have a good dog that they can just take coon hunting and tree coons. And if they want to go compete, you know, they can. And you know, that's something that I've asked myself a ton, is like, man, is this a mistake to sell this dog? Does he just need one more month? Is he not going to work out? You know? So, those are all good insights that you put in there for how to make that decision on, you know, knowing if the dog's got what it takes or not. So I appreciate you coming on here, and if you will, just before we leave, I just want you to give one piece of advice, you know, to a kid or somebody, maybe it's somebody that's 30 years old and they're just now getting into the sport and they want a good dog. Just what's your piece of advice on how to know that the dog you've got or that you're going to get is worth the time and that they've got something that you can work with?
Yeah. So in a young dog or a young pup, whatever that's ready to hunt, if they, like say, I like a easy starter, and sometimes you don't always get that. But a gamey pup, you know, that's just kind of naturally gamey. If that pup, you know, it may be the trashiest pup you ever seen, but maybe still, you know, end up treating a coon one night after hunting, putting 30 nights or something on it. You just stick with that pup more times than not. That they'll end up being a good one in the end if you can just, you know, keep on grinding and put a lot of time in that type of pup. That's kind of what I like. I like a real gamey pup, and that really wants to run something and kind of, more or less run the catch, which is hard to find. I see a lot of these pups I've had, they might be gamey and start something, and I'll let them run it, whatever, but they might, fall out after running 30 minutes or something, and just a lightly started pup. I've had a couple that was kind of that started early that was really gamey, and they'd like run the cash. Like you'd have to cut them off and go home. They've been running that deer for this long or whatever. Like literally have to fly up the road when they're fixing to cross the road and get that pup caught. That's the kind that really gets me excited. They got that fire, and drive, and I had pretty good luck with when I see that early on with a pup. Normally, they end up making a dog seem like more times than not.
Yeah. Well, that's a great piece of advice. There you go, to everyone listening or watching. Those are some things right there from Dustin to look for in your pups, and to know that you're definitely on the right track. So, well, thanks a lot, man, for coming on here. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed hunting with you that night, and I hope we get to do it again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Well, you take care, and good luck. Good luck with Juice and everything that you're doing in the future.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya. Well, I really enjoyed that conversation. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in the middle there, but yeah, nonetheless, great guy. Dustin Burdine, really awesome guy. Welcomed me like a friend would on that cast when I was a newbie and really didn't know what I was doing. And he's got a really nice dog in Juice, and I wish him nothing but luck going forward. And really interesting perspective coming from someone that owned a dog as a young dog that ended up going on to do really good things. And it just tells me that everything in life is about a perspective, and you could choose to be mad or upset about selling that dog or whatnot, but he's choosing to be happy for the dog and the people that own him now, and that's the right attitude to have for sure. So thanks everybody for watching and listening. If you don't know already, you can find this podcast anywhere where you get your podcasts. If you're on the road or traveling and you want to listen, you can find it anywhere. If you want to watch us on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the Holt Outdoors YouTube channel. We've got the CCS that's going to be launching, and pretty excited about that. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. And yep, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.